Apologies for any technical issues we may have been having. It looks like we're getting levels at the bottom of the screen now. Sorry, the mic wouldn't connect there, but we should be back here as the Marauders take on the Alliance of Tcnj. You only missed the first couple minutes. Not a whole lot has happened, and the Marauders have the puck again in the O-zone. Working out, Marauders dish is number 15. That is Justin Corelli. Corelli behind the net, in front of the net. Fans on the pass, but falls to the stick of Ben Bell. Bell kicks it out and loses it, but regains possession again. Actually, that's Petticone. Right? Petticone works down. Petticone passes to himself with Bird on his left and is dispossessed by the Lions. But number 17, the ever-present Thor Martin, is there to pick it up. Martin working behind the back of Gamboa. Martin dishes to his man off the pad of Gamboa. And that's Bird chasing it down for the Marauders. Actually, that's Bieber, excuse me. I always get 43, 44 mixed up. Corelli picks it up and dishes to his man. Takes the shot right to the glove side of Gamboa. No problem for the Tcnj keeper. Those are working out the pink jerseys tonight for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's great for the Marauders do this every year. Corelli tries to get the centering pass, but is picked off by a Lion. But the Marauders have it right back. That is number 8. And Drawn Waters bouncing off the boards. Nobody home. Old pride of Lions to the back as the Marauders get off in line change. Millersville has it again, working down the pink. Centering pass off the skate of a Lion, picked up by Jonah Bird. Shot off the pad of Gamboa, and it falls to Bird again as he gets muscled off the puck. Again, a barrage of shots on Gamboa early.
Well, what we expected early is Millersville to come out full throttle, and they've done just that. Now, Gamboa, as I mentioned in the pregame, folks, might have the ability to steal some games here, and he prevented one there. I think it rung off his head there, Garrick. Now that's using your face as he bounces that one off the dome, covers for a whistle.
Yeah, the Westchester keeper Torres made a save with his face last night, too. Weird theme early on this season. As the Marauders have it again, keeping that pressure right to the breadbasket of Gamboa.
Well, he's looking solid early here, Garrick. Now, Millersville has to get him moving laterally. Look, if you look down there, folks, he's not that big of a goaltender, so that means if you get him moving laterally, the upper of the net is going to open up, and right there's a chance it goes wide.
Them's just fighting words, Josh. TJ. Gee, I keep doing that. as the Marauders have it again, keeping that pressure on the Lions. That's number 3, Rysak. Rysak dishes cross-wide feed to his man. Shot just off the pad of Gamboa. And falls for Rysak again. Plays so nice, we'll do it twice. Marauders have it again. That's Waters working down. Waters just to the left of the goaltender. Marauders have it again, keeping it in that O-zone, not letting Tcnj get out of their own defensive zone here as it falls to Rysak again. Rysak centering pass. Nobody home. Tcnj cannot get out of their own defensive zone. That is Zerko keeping it in. Zerko slides his man across. Marauders working it down, tries to find Zerko again, but broken up by a couple of Lions, and Tcnj looks to clear it, but they can't. Kept in by Rysak. Rysak's wrister goes off the shin of a Lion, picked up by Zerko again. Rysak heads to the bench for a quick change. Actually, that is Waters. Zerko fans the pass for a little bit, but he's picked up again as Tcnj cannot capitalize on the lapse of the Marauders' offense. Jacob Schindler enters the game for the Marauders. Schindler almost makes the play there, but it squirts past his stick and falls down the ice. Icing is waved off as Kai Dunnigan gets it behind the net. That is Jackson Bell starting in net for the Marauders tonight. He came in about halfway through the game last time and only gave up 3 goals to that white-hot Westchester offense. Great showing out of him last night. Hopefully he can repeat it again today as the Marauders are keeping the pressure on, but Tcnj might have a breakaway. That's number 83, Christian Solikowski. Chance goes nowhere for the Lions, so the Marauders are right back on the attack as it's Wanshop. Wanshop gains the red line, skates around his man, Solikowski again. Wanshop takes it all by himself, tries to just pass it into the net, scrum in front of the net. No good. I believe that's Slaybaugh with it. Slaybaugh's wrister as it falls to Slaybaugh again. Slaybaugh whiffs on the pass to his man, but the Marauders keeping pressure on. Knuckle puck bounces in front and stopped again by Gamboa. A barrage of shots early on.
Well, one thing I'm noticing here early on, folks, Millersville is keeping Tcnj hemmed into their zone, and it's been very effective. A couple great line changes by the Marauders to keep Tcnj down in their zone. And Tcnj, you got tired legs. You can't get off the ice. You're in your own zone. So 14:57 remaining here in period number 1. Still deadlocked at 0. Looks like Gamboa is having an equipment issue. Seems to be good now. But did you catch that deflection there right in front of him? And Gamboa readjusted with just enough time there, Gary, to keep this a 0-0 game.
Yeah, it could have been dangerous. It seems like the Marauders have a man advantage right now on 5-on-5 play. Shot goes wide of Gamboa. Dunnigan keeps it in, keeping that pressure on Tcnj. Shot bounces around and falls to the stick of Ben Bell. Bell and Dunnigan, partners in defense back there, trying to keep the play going for the Marauders here. from the face-off circle, goes off the glove side, the pad side of Gamboa. Falls to Bell again. Bell at the blue line. Dishes to Dunnigan. Dunnigan slap shot from the wrist from the face-off circle, picked up by O'Connell. O'Connell almost slides in and gets the goal. But again, that TCNJ center ice defense is keeping the Marauders out, but it won't be able to hold up forever as the Marauders keep the pressure on. That's number 19. That is Johnny Morgan behind the net as it falls to the Jackson Bell. A couple bells. A lot of brothers on this Marauders team.
Yes, there is. One thing I do want to note here, folks, Millersville is looking really good early, but a lot of hockey left to play, and some staunch defense out front of the net by TCNJ, and another deflection by O'Connell wouldn't go for him.
Another dangerous shot from the blue line, keeping the Lions pinned in their own zone. Bell takes a wrister from the blue line. Almost dangerous opportunity in front of net. Nobody home for the Marauders as Stromberg chases down. Stromberg takes a bigger hit than he receives in the end boards there. I don't know if you caught that one, but it was a beauty. Gym teacher's telling you to get it out of there. Puck's stuck in the end boards and it's picked up by the Lions, but quickly taken away by Martin. Martin loses, but his buddy in pink is there to help him out. That is Stromberg, as Stromberg dishes down as he gets some fresh legs on the ice for both squads. TCNJ with their first little bit of possession so far this game. Puck bounces, nearly goes in the net, but it's picked up by Millersville. Millersville keeping that pressure on. That's number 17 for Martin. Martin moving in past the face-off circle behind the net of Gamboa. Martin hits the brakes, trying to find an open lane in the middle. Finds Bieber. Bieber on the net. Bieber back to Martin. Centering pass picked up by Petticone. Petticone shot deflected as he shoots it. Behind the back shot attempt by Carey. Almost goes in. Carey had one of the Marauders' couple goals last night. Looking to add on to that today. A couple blown skates and a lot of lumber laying all over the ice. A bit of a mess here as the Lions pick it up and is quickly taken away by Martin again. Martin from the blue line right into the breadbasket of Gamboa.
Well, what a shift there by Millersville, folks. They have been phenomenal through the first, 7.25 minutes here at keeping TCNJ hemmed in their own zone. Gamboa has been fantastic for the Lions. No test for Bell yet, and I think that's a good thing. Kind of let him get focused, get his rhythm. But you got to give TCNJ their flowers. Their defense out front has been fantastic, clearing the rebounds, but not allowing Millersville to finish the job here early.
And for those shot enthusiasts, the Marauders have recorded 12 before TCNJ gets one. Glove saved by Gamboa. Might not have gone in the net, but he's ready for it anyway.
Well, like I said, folks, Gamboa has the ability to steal games, and it's on full display here. He's already faced a bombardment from Millersville. 13 shots in just under 7.5 minutes. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Millersville is on fire right now, and eventually they're going to break him, but the volume of shots is going to be a heavy barrage for Gamboa.
As Bieber wins the face-off circle, it's picked up by Rysak. Even the best goalies will crack under a barrage like this. Rysak holds it, but Rysak, great stick defense, falls to his man Carey, and back to the senior leader, Connor Rysak. Rysak takes by himself. Rysak centering pass, jumps off the stick of Carey. Carey moves it around, picked up by Bieber behind the back. Off the stick of the Marauder and picked up by TCNJ, looking to get their first shot of the evening as they try to escape their defensive zone, but they cannot, as it's taken away by Jonah Bird. Puck goes to the back, it's picked up by Carey. Carey working it around. Carey lackadaisically shoots it from the center ice right directly into the breadbasket of Gamboa as it gets the Marauders some fresh legs on the ice with a line change. TCNJ holds it, it's slapped on by Carey. Marauder whiffs on the attempt there. It's John Waters, and it falls to Waters again. Plays with his glove and gets to the stick. Can't get a clean pass off as he tries to find his man in the middle. No one good. Rysak slap shot just bounces off the right side of Gamboa. Waters still handling the Lions here. They can't clear it out of their zone. Great save by number 21. That's Kai Dunnigan keeping that pressure on. Great defensive work of the body there. Great teams. Use everything they can to keep that pressure on. TCNJ trying to escape their own zone. They haven't recorded a shot yet tonight. And Bell chasing it down. Bell and Dunnigan, partners in crime in the back ice. Bell works it through and finds Zerko. Zerko centering pass, finds Bell again. Bell screams up the middle, but is taken away by number 42. That's Chris Miller on defense for the Lions. TCNJ dumps it down, but the Water is right there to pick it up. Nope, gets past Petticone and finds the stick of Dunnigan. Dunnigan whips it down the ice, tries to find Ryder, gets past Ryder and finds Zerko at center ice. Zerko might have a lane to shoot, but he bopped off the puck by his man. That's Michael Rodriguez out of TCNJ. Finds Dunnigan in the middle. Dunnigan, low shot, finds the pads of Gamboa. Does not touch the net. But the Marauders keeping pressure on as we near the 10-minute mark in this first period. Shots read 16-zip Marauders, but 0-0 where it counts as a TCNJ line. That's number 25. Brandon Kindler blows a tire there and falls to the ice, but he's a big boy. He's all right. And we got a stoppage in play here. TJ, what are you liking out of the Marauders so far this first 10 minutes?
Millersville has looked fantastic throughout the first 10 here, folks. They have had their foot on the gas pedal and have no signs of taking off. As they go to the power play here, TCNJ's getting a penalty. That's going to be number 53 for the Lions. That's Owen Loeb. He's going to sit 2 minutes for tripping. It's looked like the Marauders have had a power play all game, and now they're actually going to have one. So the extra space. But again, folks, I need to note, and I cannot harp on this enough, the TCNJ defensemen have done an excellent job of clearing the rebound.
As the Marauders win the ozone draw here, looking to capitalize on this great pen spot. Shot by number 19, that's Johnny Morgan, goes nowhere, and it's saved by the glove of Gamboa. 1:52 remaining in the man advantage for the Marauders.
So 10:04 left in the period, folks, and Millersville has been on them all night long thus far.
Another draw won by the Marauders, picked up by the ever-present Thor Martin. Martin shot rings around the back of Gamboa, picked up by TCJ, looking to clear. Hops over the stick of O'Connell, and TCJ will get the clearance. First time we've said Jackson Bell's name tonight, but we'll probably see him later on tonight. Hopefully not. As the Marauders have it again, gains their blue line, kicks it out past the red line, and comes off the skate of Zerko, but Zerko's chasing down. Actually, apologies, that is Aiden Stromberg. Stromberg chasing down, couldn't win the foot race.
Well, he did put a heck of an effort in there, Gary, to try and get that icing call negated. He almost beat it out, but he just couldn't do it. So 9:40 remain here in period number 1, folks. Still deadlocked at 0 because Gamboa, the TCNJ netminder, has been lights out for them and keeping it a 0-0 game.
But if you're a Millersville fan, this is great. The past 2 games, the Marauders have kind of been flat-footed coming out of the game. This is a great change to see out of this team here. As the Marauders have it again, trying to make good on this power play with about a minute 18 left to go on the man advantage. Another one. Kick pass there. And a whistle on the ice as the stick falls. Slashing.
Yep. He swiped that stick right out of his hands, so that's an easy call for the officials. Two-handed it, came down on it like an axe. So 9:28 now left here in period number 1. TCNJ, 5-on-3 man disadvantage for the Lions. With a minute 15 left on the original penalty, a long time for Millersville to cycle the puck around and get something going here.
And the Marauders, they've been playing great, but they have to score on this opportunity here. Let's see if they do. It'll be Carey taking the draw for the Marauders as he wins it. Picks up, falls to the stick of Bell. Bell has all the time in the world to make a pass, and he finds his man. That's Gunnigan. Gunnigan feed. Falls to the stick and back into the Marauders D-zone. But they have about a minute and 2 left on the original penalty, about a minute of 5-on-3 hockey left to go. The Marauders have forever to make a play. Gunnigan gains the blue line here as he gets to Slaybaugh. Just a little too much mustard on it for Slaybaugh as he can't catch up with the pass, but the Marauders are right back on it. Falls to Bell, and there's another whistle on the ice.
I believe they're going to call a hand pass here, folks. Or are they saying it hit the netting? Faceoff's going to be to the left of Gamboa, his glove side. So if I'm the Marauders here, what I'm trying to do, win the drawback to, well, the right defenseman's going to be Thor Martin. So win the drawback to Martin, have him kick it over to his D partner, and launch one from there.
Great advice from Coach Foshnock there. Let's see if the Marauders take heed to it as they have a minute 47 seconds left in the 5-on-3 advantage here. Kicks out to Martin, just like TJ said. Martin finds his man, trying to get to the face-off circle here. Martin taking it by himself, decides to shoot something and scores past the legs of Gamboa. Thor Martin opens up the scoring for the Marauders as they make good on the 5-on-3 advantage here.
Yeah, and that's what Millersville really needed to get something going here. Now, folks, Gamboa caught a piece of it. It just wasn't enough. You heard it hit his stick. He got the blocker on it, and it hit his stick, but it just trickled through the wickets as he was sliding across the blue paint. And Thor Martin gets it done.
That's hockey, folks. You can face 17 shots, play it perfectly, and you get 5-holed by your own stick. Just happens sometimes.
Yeah, it just took a bad bounce on him. So unfortunately for Gamboa, his boys are now trailing by 1. But for Millersville, who has looked fantastic through the opening 11 minutes of hockey here, they finally get on the big board.
Great stuff out of Millersville as they win the center ice draw. Keeping that ever-present pressure on them. The TCNJ has not recorded a shot in the first half of the first period. As Stromberg gains the blue line, looking to add on to this pain so far. Stromberg finds it in front of net, can't get it to stay on his stick as Gamboa gloves it.
What a save there by Gamboa, folks. The reaction time to recognize that Stromberg was coming back at him and trying to sneak that one behind his right leg pad. He got that right leg extended and somehow got a blocker on top of it to cover it for a whistle.
And the Marauders still have a 5-on-4 advantage from the penalty assessed to number 29, Sam Kaplan, as the Marauders keep it again. That is Martin's shot, trying to get his second, finds glove side of Gamboa, kicks it out to the hot stick of Thor Martin. Martin has all the time in the world to make a shot. Behind the lines here, finds Martin again, goes past Martin, picked up by Morgan. Morgan was ejected from last night's game, looking to stay on the ice a little bit longer tonight. Marauders keeping the pressure on, finds Thor Martin. Thor Martin for the face-off circle, finds O'Connell in front. O'Connell couldn't get his hand in his stick, squirts out in front of Gamboa, but we have a whistle here.
Looks like the referee lost the puck there, and that's... Oh, no, net came off its moorings from Gamboa sliding back and forth. So initially I thought the referee lost it because he blew it dead as it was bouncing around out front. But, folks, Millersville has looked electric this evening, wearing those pink and black jerseys to honor breast cancer survivors and breast cancer awareness. But they still have 35 seconds on the man advantage with 8:02 remaining here in period number 1.
As the Marauders win another draw today, evades the stick of Rysack and Bird. Bird takes it, kicks it out to his man Rysack. Rysack finds Bird again, a little bit of tiki-taka hockey here. As Bird has it again, dishes to his man with the TCNJ bench. Behind the back pass to Rysack. Rysack from the face-off circle, gloved by Gamboa.
Well, again, Gamboa keeps it a 1-0 game for his boys, trying to keep them in this. He is playing his tail off.
Oh, yeah.
He's faced 23 shots. That's about what most teams get in one game, let alone one period.
23-0 in the shot total. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, Millersville's buzzing right now.
Rysack has the opportunity to add on for the Marauders and double their lead. Rysack kicks it in the face-off circle. Shot from there, centering pass, tries to find Slaybaugh in front of the net, scrum in front of the net, somehow stays out, and we got another stop. Nope, even ice. 24 shots were for the Marauders. Bird finds Slaybaugh in the middle. Slaybaugh takes it by himself, finds the face-off circle. Slaybaugh shoots it just above the head of Gamboa, and we have another stop to play with 7:15 left to go. Shots read 25 for the Marauders, none for the Lions.
Well, folks, I want to take you back here really quick to that great save by Gamboa on O'Connell.
Oh, yeah.
He almost had it and made it 2-0 on the power play, but TCNJ survived the majority of that by only giving up 1. So, great stuff there out of the Lions, but Millersville still pressing hard as they need to do here to get a win on home ice. Corelli!
Almost stole my goal car there.
Sorry, buddy.
As you say, you have to give the devil his due. A lesser goalie would have let in 4 or 5 goals by now. Gamboa is playing lights out so far, making the Marauders really work for their goal as they keep pressure on. Looking for Rysack in the middle. Rysack is open. Rysack a little bit too far for him, but he keeps it on his skate. Rysack kicks out to the face-off circle. Corelli wants it in the middle. Actually, Carey wants it in the middle, but it finds the stick of Justin Corelli. Dips it out, and Bird is ready to go. Bird is dispossessed by his man. That is number 15. That is Larry Liu. Liu takes a big hit. Everyone goes down. A Marauder hits the ice. A ref hits the ice, and a Lion hits the ice. But everyone's back up and ready to go as the Lions can't capitalize on that first breakaway of the game for them. Carey hounding his man behind the ice, picked up by Wes Bieber. Bieber tries to find Dunnigan there, but it falls to Carey. Pops up into the bench of TCNJ. Almost a dangerous attempt there by TCNJ, but a great defensive play by a Marauder there.
Well, Liu with a great look and almost got a chance on Bell. I think Bell would have turned him aside. Bell's a very big goaltender, so he's able to cover a lot of that net. But great effort there by Bird to get back in time on the back check.
No, I don't know how Bell finds his way on the bus. His head's hitting the ceiling every time.
Yeah, he's a pretty big guy.
Oh, yeah. That's the guy you want in net. As Waters gets the draw out there, tries to find Dunnigan, is dispossessed by a line. Picked up, that's number 25. That is Brandon Kindler. And they have a whistle at center ice. Penalty coming up for the Marauders. And a slashing call on John Waters. Probably get the first look at a couple. Bell will probably get his first look at a couple of TCNJ shots. But Marauders' power penalty kill defense has been very strong so far this season. So we'll use that again tonight.
Yeah, it's one of the strengths of Millersville, and it always has been consistently throughout the years. Millersville's always good at playing a man down. Unfortunately, that's due to the fact that throughout the years they've had a tendency to beat a path to the penalty box, but this season not as frequent, and they've still played great on the kill.
Hey, you got to find good out of the bad there, TJ.
Yeah.
Picked up by Tcnj, their first shot of the game, handled by Jackson Bell as the crowd goes crazy for their senior goaltender. He gets his first action today with 1:48 remaining on the man advantage for Tcnj.
Well, 5:30 left in the period, and as you mentioned, Garrick, that is Tcnj's first shot. So almost 15 whole minutes without a shot.
That's ridiculous. As Tcnj keeps that pressure off, and they lose it again as it's cleared by Millersville. That's Zerko chasing his man down there. Zerko trying to get that shorthanded goal. There were 2 shorthanded goals in last night's game. Western picked up one, and Kirk Carey picked up a shorty last night. Zerko pounds the puck line right there. Zerko keeping on his man. Zerko playing 1-on-3 and winning back there. Just great individual effort out of Andrew Zerko. Alan Ryder's there to pick his man up. Ryder and it's like the Marauders have the man advantage. Tcnj still can't get out of their own zone, even with the man advantage. About a minute left to go on the power play for Tcnj as the Marauders clear again, and Gamboa has to play. Ryder's staring down his man behind the net of Gamboa. He pounces and makes his man pass. Ill-advised pass picked up by Stromberg. Stromberg dumps it in, takes a hit from the back, but he's all right. 48 seconds remaining. Tcnj's only recorded 1 shot and barely got out of their own zone on this power play. Great stuff out of Millersville. Johnny Morgan takes it. Morgan tries to dangle between his man, but is broken up as Petticone hangs on to the puck. Petticone finds Stromberg in the cross-ice feed. Stromberg content to let the time tick off here as he back passes. Howitzer shot back down the end of ice, gloved by number 42. That's Chris Miller from Tcnj as it falls to Gamboa again, and he has to play it. Number 14, Aaron Earhart has to play it behind the net of Gamboa. As Tcnj looks to record their second shot with 10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining, and it looks like they won't as Petticone picks up the pass. Petticone cross-ice feet, broken up by number 26, Joseph D'Onofrio out of Tcnj. Stromberg counting his man, and the Marauders have successfully killed the penalty there, only allowing 1 shot and barely any pressure. Amazing stuff out of the Marauders penalty kill there, TJ.
Yeah, fantastic job by the Marauders kill. Like I said, it's been a strength all year for them with 3:50 remaining here in the period as they sit up by 1 thus far.
Great pass there to Morgan, but just a little too much mustard on there for the Marauders. Escaping there as Morgan receives a big hit. Somehow he stays on his feet after. I think his skates are above his head there for a second.
Yeah, that's an obvious call all day. Definitely either interference or head contact, something. They're taking him to the box, so they got it. No need to worry. Millersville back to the man advantage as they got one on the power play earlier.
Oh, yeah. That's number 38, Matthew Vega, heading to the bench for Tcnj. Marauders looking to make good another power play, as TJ said, with a 3:39 remaining here. Shot scan 26-1 in favor of Millersville, and where it counts, the Marauders lead 1-0.
Well, Gamboa has been excellent, turning aside 25 of the 26. Again, folks, that's about what most teams average in a whole 3 periods. Millersville put that up within the first.
Now, that's how Millersville plays hockey, TJ. You know that. Broken up in the center by Tcnj. It's picked up again by Martin. Martin kicks it to himself, and it's picked up by his man, Stromberg. Stromberg looking to open his account for the game. Dump pass to Morgan, picked up by Martin. Martin looking for his second from the face-off circle. Centering pass almost gets over the head of Gamboa there. Dangerous opportunity for the Marauders early. Finds Morgan. Morgan again over the head of Gamboa right there as he plays it with his glove and bounces up. Stromberg hounding his man behind the net, but it's picked up by Morgan again. Falls to the stick of Martin. Martin gets behind his man, finds Morgan in the face-off circle. Morgan slap shot right off the blocker of Gamboa, and it's corralled by Thor Martin.
Well, great job there by Gamboa, and Stromberg almost tipped that one home. It just wouldn't go for him on the pass from Martin.
Another dangerous opportunity for the Marauders here. Martin find the middle. He has Ryder in the middle, but it's broken up by a Tcnj stick. There is Stromberg in front of net. Stromberg tries to find the open net. Almost goes through. Beat everyone except the iron there. Aiden Stromberg robbed the second here. Marauders have it again. Another dangerous opportunity in front of Gamboa. Picked up by Morgan again. Morgan finds Stromberg in the middle. Stromberg trying to make good. Finds Morgan again. Centering pass. Finds Stromberg again. Stromberg again denied by Gamboa. Not often you face those shots from Aiden Stromberg and not one goes in.
Well, Stromberg rung one off the crossbar there. Gamboa owes the iron a steak dinner after this game, folks. Now, I do want to mention, Stromberg with 3 great chances. Gamboa turned all of them aside except for the one that hit the crossbar. But Millersville has been on fire this evening. They have had their foot on the accelerator from the opening puck drop, and it's been on full display as shots now 30-1.
Well, you'd love to see a couple more goals out of the Marauders to make good on those vast opportunities. Marauders have it again for the face-off circle. 33 seconds remaining on the man advantage for the Marauders. Shot goes off the blocker of Gamboa, but picked up by Ben Bell. Bell takes himself, tries to take a shot off the shin of a Lion, but picked up by a Marauder in the corner. Tries to find his man, has Slaybaugh across the ice. Slaybaugh wants it, but Bell gets it. Keeps it himself, moves down, finds a stick of Slaybaugh, finds Bell again. Slap shot again for the face-off circle, pushed away by Gamboa. No one can find the puck for a second as the Marauders are working it out. That's Zerko. Zerko tries to find back to 5-on-5 play as Zerko's shot turned away by Gamboa and picked up by Zerko again. Zerko tries to get a cross-ice feed behind the back, but it's taken away by the stout center ice defense of Tcnj. Dunnigan bumps it in, tries to find Slaybaugh, but Slaybaugh is bumped off by his man. And Bell will chase down with just about a minute 17 left to go in the first period. Shot scan, 33-1 Marauders.
Well, folks, I can't harp on this enough. Matt Gamboa is playing fantastic hockey.
Yeah.
He's taking a drink of water. He deserves it. Maybe put some Gatorade in him, get some electrolytes back in him. He's going to need an IV bag in the locker room for all the sweat he's losing. He is working hard to keep this a 1-0 game for his boys in blue. But Millersville, with grade A chances, it just wouldn't go for them. The puck luck's not there right now. Hopefully they can change that up for their sake, but TCNJ has to get out of their own zone.
Yeah, Gamboa might have to wear that practice jersey every game now. It might be lucky. Low shot there from the Marauders. Again, stopped by Gamboa. That's the 34th he's faced here tonight, only letting in one. Insane stuff from the TCNJ netminder.
Now, one thing I do want to note, folks, watch how Millersville cycles the puck around. They're doing a great job of finding the open man. TCNJ is doing a great job at taking away passing lanes as well. But Millersville always seems to find that open man and keeps up the pressure.
As Rysack has it, Rysack dumps around the end boards, but it's intercepted by a line. But Schindler is there to get it behind the back of Gamboa here. He squirts out. Schindler tries to stay on it, but is bumped off by number 53, Owen Logue. As Rysack has him in the face-off circle, Rysack will take himself 47 seconds remaining in the period. Rysack low shot, no good as it's turned away by Gamboa. Number 11, Owen Wilkinson, is on the ice for the Marauders now. As TCJ might have a breakaway here, you cannot let them score another goal. This cannot go into the break 1-1. That will be a backbreaker for Millersville. Wanshop has it, a little too strong for his man. That's Wilkinson trying to chase it down. Wilkinson and Schindler not fast enough for the puck, as it'll be icing on the ice. 24.1 remaining here in the first period.
Well, folks, again, Millersville with some great chances. They just can't capitalize. I don't know what it is right now. The ice, the puck, the sticks. I don't know what's going on with the Marauders. They've had chance after chance after chance. And they also ran into a hot goaltender in Gamboa. He is playing lights-out hockey. Like I said, facing 35 and saving 34. Very impressive.
Yeah, not often you get 35 shots in the first period and only have one goal to show for it, but at least they do have that one goal. 20 seconds remaining here in the opening frame as the Marauders look to double their lead here late on. That's number 43, Jonah Bird, behind the ice, behind the back of Bell. Bird's pass a little too hot on it, finds Wanshop and Wilkinson in the front ice, but it's cleared again, 3-2-1, and that will do it for the first period. Really kind of odd first period. Shots read 35-1. You expect a blowout so far, but it's just a paltry 1-0 lead for the Marauders.
Well, Millersville ran into an insanely white-hot goaltender in Matt Gamboa. He has been the key player out of both squads right now. If I had to pick a star of the game early, the first star is Matt Gamboa. He is playing lights-out hockey. Millersville goes into the break ahead in the shot clock by 34 shots, Gary. That is more than most teams, like I said, put up in a game, sometimes 2 games. They are playing fantastic hockey. They just got to keep at it if they want to up the score here and really send a message.
Again, hoping that puck luck finds the Marauders. And looking ahead for the Marauders' upcoming schedule, next weekend this matchup is renewed as Millersville heads to TCNJ for a dreaded 9:20 puck drop. That's going to be a rough one getting back. And the next game, they host Scranton. So a really, really tough weekend coming up for the Marauders. And that game will be at 4 p.m. here at LIR. Next weekend, Halloween night, they head to Stockton to take on the Ospreys. And the weekend, not the weekend after that, but the next weekend, Saturday, November 8th, Marauders will head to Seton Hall for another rough away game. Some rough road games coming up for the Marauders.
Well, TCNJ is always a long trip, but I think with the way Millersville's playing, you got to play like that in TCNJ's house. You got to send a message here. You're at home. You're coming off of a rough loss last night to Westchester, a 3-game slide in general. You got to send a message. Keep your foot on the throttle if you're the Marauders. And if I'm TCNJ, I am not changing. The only thing I'm not changing, I should say, is the goaltender. I'm changing the lines. I'm changing the strategies. But I do have to note, folks, they have done a fantastic job of clearing the rebounds from Gamboa and evading the dangerous chances. So you got to give them, their defensemen especially, you got to give them their flowers. They have done a great job of really irritating the Marauder offense and trying to negate a lot of Millersville's great chances.
So, folks, don't be going anywhere. We still got 40 minutes of hockey left to play tonight. We'll see you back here in around 10 minutes for the second period of action here at LIR.